Welcome back. In my last two analysis videos, I made it through 10 games of my backlog on Lichess, but I've still got more games to go, so I'm going to try to get as many as I can in this video. I'm also going to try to be more efficient with my time and just go to the moves in the game where I made a mistake or a blunder. I'm going to use the graph at the bottom, even though it's not visible on your screen. I can see it at the bottom of my screen, and I'm just going to go to the point at which I lost an advantage or gave up equality for a losing position. But before I go any further, something I usually say at the end of my videos, and I should probably say at the beginning of them, is I appreciate you spending your time here. I know not everybody can make it to the end of the video, you don't have enough time, or at some point you lose interest, I understand that, but I do appreciate whatever time you spend here, and I appreciate any comments that you leave, whether they're helping me, or asking a question, or responding to another person's comment. I think that's good for all of us. And one more thing before I get started, if any of you know how to get rid of these inline notations here in the move list, let me know. On Lichess, I would like to go through these with the analysis bar without seeing the answer right there on the screen. Now, there is an option here under Options where it says Inline Notation. As you can see, mine is turned off. And I thought that would get rid of those lists there where it says what the best move was. But instead, when you turn that on, it just changes the move list to look something differently. And it still says Inaccuracy C5 was best. And if you turn that off, it just lists the moves like this, but it still says Inaccuracy C5 was best. Now, I do know how to get rid of these three moves that it lists after that. I can right-click on there and do Delete from here, click the confirmation button, and the string is deleted, but it still says Inaccuracy C5 was best. So again, if any of you know how to not list those there, so I can just look at the game without there being an answer on the right-hand column, so I can try to find the answer myself. Let me know. Okay, in this game, I was playing with the white pieces. I had an advantage right here after 17 moves. And it looks like on the graph, I made a mistake or a blunder that brought us back to even, and then I followed that with 2 mistakes or more over the next 3 or 4 moves and gave away the advantage. Now, again, I'm going to try not to look at the move list on the right column, which means I don't even know what move I made next. But I'm going to guess I should have castled here, either to the king side? Queen side or king side. I don't know, but I'm going to guess that was what I should have done here. And again, I might have done that, but I can't look at the move list because the answer will be there. It'll say what I was supposed to have played. I don't know what I did. I don't know if I took the knight. I don't know if I took the pawn. I don't know if I repositioned my queen, or maybe I played rook to d1. I can see myself playing rook to d1 here, hoping to take, but I guess I could just take anyway, right? I think maybe the problem with that is it positions their queen pointed down this way. No, because if I castle, then that pawn's gonna be protected by the rook. Let's see, I am up 1 pawn at this point, so maybe it would make sense. No, I was gonna say take there and then take here and then take here, but no, I should take the knight first. Let them double their pawns one way or the other, and then take this pawn. So that way their pawns would be doubled. They'll probably take with the e pawn. Then I'll take here. And when they take, then I can castle. And I would still be a pawn ahead, at least. On this side, I would have an extra pawn over here compared to that one, right? I have a queenside majority of pawns, and their extra pawn over here would be doubled. I'm going to guess that's what it is. Let's see, what did I play? Okay, I think I guessed that that's one of the moves that I probably played. It was rook to d1 that I played. Oh, and it says that was best. Okay, so it wasn't here. Let's see what the move list suggests. It definitely says I have a +2 if I take that pawn, but not if I take the knight. I have a very slight advantage if I take the knight. That would have been almost as bad as this, which was my 3rd best move. Okay, I don't see what the advantage would be here. It says if I take, they would take, and then I would castle. But then I wouldn't trade. But then I wouldn't trade for the knight because their queen would be guarding there, and it wouldn't double any of their pawns. That surprises me. It says if I took here, they would take back with the e-pawn as I suspected, and then my best move would be to castle queenside. Yeah, see, I thought I would take there, they would take there, then I would take here, and they would take there, and then I would castle kingside. And they would have, okay, I don't know why that's better. Oh, sorry, I don't know why it's better. We're going to go into the next mistake, because I don't have enough time to spend on each one of these games. I'm just trying to hit the blunders that I can understand. Okay, after that, my opponent took that pawn, which was probably their best move. And then my next move was either a mistake or a blunder. I don't know because I'm not looking at the move list. I'm just looking at the graph down at the bottom, and I'm trying to avoid my peripheral vision. The mistake here was that I can't take back this way because their knight guards that. So now should I take the knight? What did I do? Oh, I took the pawn. That was a mistake. Okay, maybe I should have taken the knight. I'm going to look. No. Okay, no. I could have taken the knight. Okay, or castling kingside. Those two are my only two that maintain equality. Or g4. Well, I don't think g4 is good. It says if I played g4, they would play queen to e5. If I played g4, yeah, it says they would play queen to e5, and then I would castle. Why wouldn't I take the knight with my pawn? I don't know. Okay, but at least I did guess a better move here, but I'm going to guess I did something. Oh yeah, that's what I did. Okay, that was bad. But I should have probably taken there again, which would have doubled their pawns, and then I could have castled. But then they probably would have taken here or pushed forward, but we would have been about even. But this puts my opponent in the driver's seat. Let me turn that off in case I accidentally glance up there. What should I do here? Since I didn't take the knight, they were able to take that pawn and threaten my queen. Should I move my queen somewhere? Here? Should I castle? If I castle and they take my queen, I'll take their queen. And then I don't know what they would do, but their bishop would be hanging. I'm going to guess castling. Okay, castling was my best move here. I still would have been behind, but I should have castled. But instead, I played my second or third best move, which was there. That was an inaccuracy. I got my queen out of danger. Okay, but I think I understand what I should have done instead. The problem with this is it allows them to build up behind their queen, and then even though their knight's kind of pinned, it's really not anymore once they get a rook behind it. I don't know which rook. Did my opponent play one of those? Yeah, they did play their best move. And it says I did not make a mistake on the next move. According to the graph, I castled. Okay, that was fine. They were supposed to take that free pawn. And then here on my next move, I made another mistake putting me further behind. What did I do? I don't remember. What should I have done? I don't know. I'm already behind here. This isn't the move that lost me the game. So it says I should have played queen to c4, but what I did, oh, I took the knight? Oh, that doesn't seem like a good idea. And I wasn't even low on time. I had 3 more minutes than my opponent had. They had about 5 minutes and I had about 8. I should have known that would have been bad because they would take back. I would lose my queen for a knight. And if I took their queen, they would take my rook. Oh, it's changed. So while I was talking, queen to c4 isn't my best move anymore. a3 or a4 is my best move. But yeah, okay, this one's obvious. That's a blunder. I don't know if I would have found this, but I probably could have found the pawn move, either one of the pawn moves, because I mean, that's obviously in danger. This gets the queen out of the way, plus protects the pawn. But if I had put the queen there, they probably would have brought their rook up here to help protect the knight and threaten my queen, and then I'd have to move my queen again. That line only goes for 2 moves, so I don't know what would have happened there. Okay, but the move that gave away my advantage was back here when I should have taken this pawn. This would have kept me with a very slight advantage, but would have been almost as bad as what I did play. I don't understand that. It just looks better to me, even after following out the lines a little bit. It just looks better to me to take this, which doubles their pawns, and then take that. But it says if I took there and they took there, then my best move would be to castle. But somehow taking here first is better. Taking here, let them take, and then castle. And then they'll run away with their knight someplace, like here, when I could have taken it first. So that's a line that's a little beyond me. But anyway, it was the next move where I gave away, after that, when we're even, and they played there, I should have castled here or taken the knight. Yeah, and I guessed taking the knight, and then when they took back, I would castle. Yeah, okay, I did guess that, but instead I took there, which allowed this, and then you saw what happened. Okay, I think I understand that one at least, the one that gave away or gave my opponent an advantage. All right, let's go into the second one. Okay, in this game I did win, but there were a couple of places where I gave away an early advantage, but then my opponent gave it back to me. So I'm just going to go to those spots and make this as quick as possible. Right here, it was my turn. My opponent had just moved out of check here, and I had about a -2. It says, I'm not going to look at the move list, but what did I play? Trying to remember what I played. It seems like I brought the bishop back. I'm trying, because I think I remember this position. I remember being able to get an early check in on this king. I'm not sure what they should have done instead, or maybe that was their best move to move that way. But I remember thinking here, what I wanted to do was get this knight out, maybe to there, maybe to here, I'm not sure. But if I had the knight here on e7, then my opponent could play a3, and I couldn't bring the bishop back to e7. And the pawns, they have pawns guarding those 2 squares right here. And if I drop the bishop back to a5, then they could advance their other pawn, and my bishop would be trapped. So I think I brought the bishop back here, but I'm not sure what I should have done instead. I think I also thought about advancing my c-pawn to attack that, but again, I was worried about my bishop getting trapped. Maybe I shouldn't have been worried about that. Maybe I should have checked again, or checked again over here. Maybe that's what I should have done. Queen to a6 check. That would have required a response from them to either, because they can't move the king, so they'd have to block with either their queen or their knight. If they blocked with the queen, I could take it, and then when they took with the knight, then I could get this out, and my bishop would have a route back this way. Maybe that's what it is. Queen to a6. I'm going to turn on the engine. Oh, I don't have to put the queen on a6. I have a bishop that can go to a6. Wow. Okay, but what I played, yeah, okay, I did remember correctly. I brought the bishop back to e7. But I should have checked again bishop to a6, which would have forced them to block with the knight. And then I should have gotten this out, but then they would have played a3. And I wouldn't have cared that they'd played a3 because I would go after this undefended bishop over here. And if they took mine, I'd take theirs. Oh, wow. Yeah, as I said at the beginning of this sequence, I was afraid that if I moved here, I wouldn't be able to bring the bishop back, but I wouldn't have to. If they played a3, I would put my knight on g6, threatening their bishop. And then my knight wouldn't be blocking this anymore. So if they moved their bishop out of danger, then I could move my bishop out of danger. And if they took mine, I could take theirs. Got it. But bishop to a6, I don't know why I didn't see that. And I don't know why queen to a6 isn't any good. How bad would that have been? That would have been bad. They would have blocked here, and then I still would have played this, and we'd have been about even. Okay, so what I did was better than that, because I played bishop to e7, and that just took us to even. I don't know why this is worse than this, but I guess I see why this is better. I'm not sure. One thing I liked about the queen is that it got out of the way of my dark squared bishop being able to escape that pawn. But now I know that I don't need to escape that pawn because I can threaten their other bishop. Okay, but because I did give most of the advantage back, we were a little bit even here. But then right here, I had something and I didn't take advantage of it. I haven't looked over there yet. I'm going to try to turn it off without looking. Did I get it? Okay, I got it. All right. I was using my peripheral vision to place the mouse pointer there on the thing. All right, what should I have done here? Oh, was it? No, because that's protected. And they can protect it with a pawn. Wait, they're about to fork me here, but that was a mistake. Should I have just moved the rook over? Should I have dropped this bishop back to protect that? Maybe that's what I should have done. I'm going to guess bishop to b6 is what I should have done. No, that would have been my second best move, but bishop to a6 would have been the best because it would have pinned that knight and kept them from forking me. But they would have immediately played their king over, and then I would have brought my king. Because when they moved their king over, it would break the pin. But I would just put my king on d7 so that they couldn't fork me. Wow, as you can see, I've had a hard time. I've not been able to get this knight out yet. It was the first thing that I saw, but then I realized it didn't matter because the knight's protected. But I shouldn't be worried about the knight being protected. I should have been concerned about the king on the other side of it so they couldn't fork me. Okay, so then they would have gotten their king out of the pin, and then I just would have brought my king. Okay, so why not bring my king first? It says that's my second best move. Third best. That's my second best. Okay, what did I play instead? Oh, that doesn't keep them from forking me, does it? What should they have done? They should have just taken it. Oh, they should have taken it, but instead they forked me. And I should have come toward the knight, but instead I went there. Nobody knows why. And they should have moved their rook, but instead they took mine, which allowed me to take theirs. And from then on, I was ahead because why? Why am I ahead? They moved here, attacking my bishop. And did I escape with it? I did. Whoa. Okay. Lichess seems to do that a lot. I'm not sure how that happened. Okay. We changed to a completely different position for no reason whatsoever. All right. Well, we were done with that game anyway. Let's go on to the third one. Okay. In this game, I did win. I had one mistake and two blunders, however, but I was never behind. I'm going to go to about right here after 13 moves. And I had a mistake that gave away most of my advantage. It says I'm at 3.1. What did I play? I can't take the bishop because I'm pinned. The pawn is pinned. So what can I do here? Because I have to protect against mate. Oh, should I put my knight on h5? I'm trying to remember what I did. I think what I did was play g6, which allows them to take my rook. But I'm guessing I should have played knight to g5, which both threatens their queen and protects this. But then couldn't they just move over? Oh, if they move over, I get their bishop. I don't know. What did I play? I played g6. Okay, that's what I thought, but what I should have played was knight to h5. Okay, but what if I had played knight to h5, which I did see, so I'm happy about that. Well, it says their best move would be over here. Why wouldn't they just move over and threaten the knight? Because I would check. And then wouldn't they take that? They would. And then, oh, and then I would check here. What? Okay, so what if they didn't take? What if they just moved out of check? Oh, then I would get their rook. But then they would get my knight. It says that they wouldn't. They would take my bishop. But what if they just took my knight? Oh, then I would take their knight. And they wouldn't have to take it because this is guarded. And then I would play here, which protects this and requires their queen to keep protecting that or them to run away with their bishop. But then they would play here, and I would have to come up one very carefully, and I would be ahead because I'm up one exchange, and I have a connected passed pawn here. That would still be pretty tough to win. I don't know how that's -9. That looks more like a -2 or -3 to me. At my level with my abilities, and also these two pieces just kind of hanging around down here. I know that's not the way those pieces move, but you know what I'm saying. They're in this is a precarious situation right here. I would have to make some very precise moves. But g6 was a blunder that I still had an advantage after it though. And were they supposed to take my rook? Yes, they did. And I took back. It doesn't matter which piece I take it with, king, bishop, or queen. I still maintain a very slight advantage. I did one of the better ones. Why do I have a very slight advantage? My opponent's up a pawn. Well, I mean, it's a rook for a bishop and a pawn, but they're up 1 point of material. I don't understand how I have a very slight advantage there, but I do. So, as you see, that blunder did not lose me the game because I won the game, and even had I not, it wouldn't have been this one that lost me the game. Okay, I'll go on to the next game, but I will just say I don't know why knight to h5 is better. Did I miss something? Wait. Knight to e8. Oh, okay. That I can understand. I don't get this because, as I said, it can be immediately attacked. Well, not there because my queen would take their queen. But you know what I'm saying? They can just step their queen out and they're threatening my knight. It's free. It's not protected by anything. And my only move after that is to do this. And realizing that if they take, then I can check them again and win the bishop. Yeah, that's a long sequence for me to see. But I can see this. It protects that pawn. And it's not in danger. And it's still -3. Okay. What would have been their best move there? To retract this, threatening my queen, and then I would not play f6. I would just move my queen. How bad would f6 be here? Because that's what I would be tempted to play. Not that bad. I would still have an advantage. But they would come back here. Oh, and I would have assumed trading bishops would have been better at that point. But it says, oh no, threaten the queen. What if they did this? Oh, then I would push. No, then I would take it. Oh, for some reason, it's advantageous to me to take here, but not when it was over there. See, here I would have thought e5, and that I would slowly whittle away my advantage by playing the second, third, or fourth best move in each one of these positions. I would have played that because then when they escaped with their bishop, then I would play this, and I would have a connect 4 and be threatening their knight. It would have to move someplace. Oh, but that would threaten this bishop, I guess. I don't know. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Okay, I did win this one, and I had an advantage for almost the entire game. So there might not be that much instructional value here, but I'm going to do my best. The game review does say I had 2 mistakes and 1 blunder, and I can see from the graph that even though I had a bigger and bigger lead, right at the end I made a huge blunder, but then my opponent ran out of time. And I just checked, the 2 mistakes that I made were early in the game, and they didn't take away very much of my advantage, so I'm not even going to look at them. I'm just going to look at the blunder I made near the end, which was right after this position. I'm up 3 pawns, but you can see, I think the clocks are visible. My opponent's down to 23 seconds, and I have 2 minutes left. But I blundered here, giving my opponent something big, but they didn't have time to capitalize on it. So what was my blunder? What is my opponent threatening? My opponent has just slid in here. Okay, I think now, not with no pressure of the game being on me, I think what my opponent is aiming at is e3, because e3 aims at my king and aims at my rook. So I should have done something to stop that. I could have moved either one of these pieces so that that wouldn't be a fork when they went to e3, but I don't know where I should have moved them. For example, if I had moved my king forward, they still would have had a fork here on d2. If I had moved my king this way, same thing, they would have still had a fork. So maybe I should have moved my rook over to f1, or maybe I should have brought my No, that would have been bad. Wow. Maybe I should have brought my queen back this way. No, that wouldn't have helped anything. They still could have forked me here. Okay, I'm going to guess rook to f1 was my best move then. Or possibly the other rook to e6, which would have guarded this square and kept them from forking me. And then it would have eventually allowed me to double up my rooks on the e file, which is the only fully open file on the board. So either that, or this, or this. That's what I should have played. I don't know what I did play. I can't remember, but it was okay. Rook to e1 is listed, and rook to e6 is listed. Okay, that's my second best move is rook to e6. My third best move is rook to e1. Okay, but not f1 for some reason. But my best move, the one that maintains +6, almost +7, is rook to a1. And it says they would still check me. Why? And why? Oh, I just saw. They're threatening that pawn. They're not only threatening the fork, but they're threatening that pawn. This solves both of those problems. If I play rook to a1, I'm protecting the pawn and preventing the fork. Now what's to keep them from going here? Which threatens the rook. It says that's their third best move. Their best move is still to check me on e3. But their second best move is here. What do I do if they play that? I would come up because my queen guards that square. And that rook is pinned. Yeah, because if I move my rook anywhere else, they're getting that pawn. So I would just move it up one to keep guarding the pawn. My queen protects it there. I don't see why do I have such a big advantage? Is it because of my two connected passed pawns and their rook being pinned and therefore nearly useless? But instead of playing rook to a1 and then rook to a2, I didn't see the fork coming. And I thought, oh no, this queen is behind my pawns. I should do something about that. And I didn't know what I should do, and I spent 10 seconds. I spent 10 seconds on this move, which doesn't accomplish anything. It still allows the fork. And now I went from +7 to -8. So that's a 15-point swing. Now, that's my opponent's best move. Is that what they played? It is, but it took them 6 seconds, and they've only got 17 left. Well, I have to get out of check. My best move is to block with the queen, which I did. Now they win the rook with check, which they did. I have multiple legal moves here. I made one of the better ones. But here my opponent let their last 15 seconds run off the clock, and they ran out. They ran out of time. My guess is that they didn't know what to do. They can move this rook now, but where? I mean, it doesn't have anywhere to go because it's not pinned anymore. But again, it doesn't have anywhere to go, really. I guess they could have moved it over one, but it says their best move is g5. That also would have been very good for them just to take this pawn, because they can just come backwards up through here and they have a passed pawn on the corner, three squares from promotion. But g5 is their best move because they're coming down through here with this battery, and how am I going to stop that? But I guess here my opponent struggled to see any of that, and I probably would have too in their position. 15 seconds, what do you do? I've got to be able to see that I have a lot more time than my opponent does. What's 6 times the amount of time? They have 20 seconds about. I have 2 minutes. That's 120 seconds. That's 6 times the amount of seconds they have. This is a lesson I've been failing to learn repeatedly, but look and see. What are they threatening? What is this doing? Oh, I have an undefended pawn here. And I have a check, because that's what you're supposed to ask, right? Can they check? They can. And what does that do? It forces my king to move, and then they win the rook from here. So I have to be able to then ask myself, can I solve both of those problems at once? And yes, I can. That's all the time that I have for today. I've probably edited out a lot of this, so I don't know how long of a video you will end up watching, but hopefully you get something out of it, and hopefully if you saw something that I missed or didn't understand, please feel free to explain it to me in the comments. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.